Life-size pleasure dolls with animatronics and artificial intelligence are making their way to the market. Although they are still in the early stages of development, these prototypes provide glimpses of what fully functional pleasure robots may look like in the not-too-distant future. But why are these dolls so popular, and how can they be used for purposes other than physical pleasures? Excited to know? Before we begin, for everyone who's new to our channel, hello and welcome to Robot Future, where we fill you in on every thrilling discovery and mind-blowing insight in the world of robots, AIs, and future technology. So consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification for a ton of exciting robot content coming your way. So what are female pleasure robots? Pleasure robots, also known as female human bots, are humanoid robotic pleasure dolls with human-like movement or behavior and some level of artificial intelligence. Although several inventors have created elaborately instrumented pleasure dolls, no fully animated intimacy robots exist as of 2018. Instead, simple devices that can speak, make facial expressions, and respond to touch have been developed. It is debatable whether developing them would be morally justifiable. Kathleen Richardson, a robot ethicist, called for a ban on creating anthropomorphic pleasure robots in 2015, citing concerns about normalizing relationships with machines and reinforcing female dehumanization. Since then, there have been discussions about their ethics, effects, and potential legal regulations. Obviously, pleasure robots are designed primarily for pleasure. However, the user can converse with and even form a relationship with them. What other uses will humanoid pleasure robots have in the future? The possibilities may astound you. What do experts have to say? Scholars, such as Hojat Abdullahi, believe these robots can serve as robot companions for elderly people suffering from dementia or depression. A study of many elderly patients discovered that elderly people were interested in having an intimate robot as a companion, and their interest did not fade over time. He says these patients developed a meaningful rapport with the robot companion and valued its presence. According to bioethicist Nancy S. Jecker, older people with disabilities lose pleasure due to physical changes caused by aging and disease and social stigma and scorn. Jecker contends that these robots are a way to support dignity and maintainability by dispelling ageism and negative stereotypes about later life pleasure. For example, Takanori Shibata's robot companion Paro has been a therapeutic machine for the elderly suffering from dementia and those suffering from depression and anxiety since 2009. Some manufacturers have also claimed that introducing them into prisons will reduce prison tension. In addition, scholars such as Oliver Bendel believe that pleasure robot could be the answer to establishing healthy health and reducing tensions outside of prison. Manufacturers also have suggested that pleasure robots relieved sexlessness in male-dominated professions like long-haul truck drivers or all-male oil rigs. Pleasure bots can also aid in the prevention of unwanted pregnancies, transmitted diseases, and violence, all of which are problems in brothels and with prostitutes. Here are the applications of female robots that make them trending. Pleasure robots in entertainment, film, and music. Humanoid robots draw a lot of attention in the entertainment industry, for example at trade and scientific fairs, amusement parks, cabarets, and revues. Not only men crowd around the mostly without cloth female dolls, but also women, some of whom are disgusted while others are fascinated. The film industry prefers to shoot attractive or expressive actors when impersonating radiant heroes. These aesthetic needs are met in some ways by robots. They are available in a variety of more or less stereotypical forms, or they can be designed in the likeness of a famous person, a service provided by several companies. Ultimately, it is not just a matter of rights but also cost. Overall, it's easy to imagine pleasure robots acting in films, though the term acting must be interpreted differently depending on their mimicry and gestural abilities. They are without a doubt not only not bad actors but actors at all. Nonetheless, they appear in a few films. Pleasure robots could also become celebrities who perform concerts and move almost convincingly on stage. However, attractive faces and bodies are well represented in this industry, and a record deal is not always the result of musical talent. Hatsune Miku, a fictional singer, serves as a role model here. First, there was the pure voice, created with the Vocaloid software. Later, a pseudo-hologram projection on stage was created to attract and inspire the audience. Finally, as one concert-goer put it, the artificial girl seems to turn to everyone and be there for everyone equally. A hardware robot on stage may have to struggle like a real singer does. It cannot turn to everyone at once and is constrained by spatial and physical constraints. Furthermore, even a Boston Dynamics model appears machine-like, and most humanoid robots' progress in standing, walking, and dancing is modest. Pleasure robots in care and therapy. Like everyone else, people in nursing homes and retirement homes crave tenderness and joy. However, they cannot fulfill this wish due to their semi-public status. They may have a more difficult time finding a suitable partner, or they may find it difficult to have a relationship for mental or physical reasons. People who live at home may experience the same issues. Pleasure may be easier and more discreet for care home residents, but some elderly and disabled people may have limited options. Love dolls can provide comfort and satisfaction. However, their presence and the explicitness of their design may be offensive to caregivers, relatives to those in need of care, and those in need of care themselves, particularly in a more conservative environment. Pleasure robots could be used in the care setting in the future to supplement care robots in the narrower sense. For example, a model dressed in business attire would be transformed quickly and impressively. This effect has also been observed with other social robots, such as when Pepper was fitted with a wig, something I refer to as robot enhancement. One issue could be that their function still physically pushes through, such as in the form of oversized breasts. Furthermore, cliches such as the nurse who is biased towards the patient are used in current pleasure robots, which may make it more difficult to perform the profession successfully without harming the actual person, a topic of robot ethics. Care and therapy can be intertwined. For example, some care robots such as Leo from F&P Robotics can be used as therapy robots to perform movement exercises with patients. There are also robots with interchangeable grippers and end pieces designed for direct tension treatment. Pleasure robots could replace both erotic and traditional massages. The benefit would be that one would not be at the mercy of a mechanical device, but rather an attractive masseur with human hands would look after the patient's well-being. However, there are currently few models on the market that can provide such services. Last but not least, pleasure dolls and pleasure robots are hotly debated in pleasure therapy and rehabilitation, particularly in the context of pedophiles. Thus, it would combine the desired function with an unintended function, therapy. There is a lack of empirical research in this area, and it is unclear whether physical exercise and practice increase or decrease symptoms. In addition, it is unclear whether certain manly disorders can be treated therapeutically. Furthermore, at the moment, it is prudent to advise against premature and widespread use. Because of their humanoid design, pleasure robots can clearly take over and adapt to other activities, including care and therapy robots. However, it is a dominated humanoid design that can only be suppressed and hidden to a limited extent. Another barrier is the small height of many of them, though there are models around 160 centimeters in size that would be suitable for this purpose. The current issue is that shorter pleasure robots typically lack the motor skills of other service robots. One possibility is to mount the robot head on top of other robot bodies, which introduces new technology and design challenges. Back to present. When pleasure robots are used in nursing and retirement homes for partner pleasures, as well as to support solo life, they are serving their original purpose. Aside from that, we now know of potential applications in the military, prisons, and convents. Empirical research is clearly required now to clarify the associated opportunities and risks. Psychology and, once again, robot ethics are required. However, science should exercise caution in this situation. Even short-term use could be harmful. Perhaps surveys are better suited to test need and acceptance. By interacting with pleasure robots, it is possible that we will discover that humans are irreplaceable and that we will need to create new environments and times in which intimate human encounters are possible again. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe for more.